Hey, happy Friday, everybody, and welcome to another Chamber Check-in episode from Idaho's only five-star accredited chamber. Today, I'm so excited to feature Collin Rudeen with Boise Brewing. Hi, Collin.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, thanks for taking some time with me. I know it's raining out there, but I can't think of a better time to sit inside and have a beer.
Always a good time to sit inside and have a beer.
Collin, you've been a member with us for, I think, 10 years now. And we were talking earlier, and you're coming up on your 10-year anniversary, and we'll have to do something special as well. So more to come on that. But Collin, these chamber check-ins are really great ways of sharing our member stories, our products and services, but most importantly, the people. So before we dive into Boise Brewing, which is really cool, let's talk about you. Help me share a little bit about your background and history of work that led you to become an entrepreneur.
Yeah, nothing at all to do with entrepreneurship or beer. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I was project engineer for a wind power development company. For about 5 years, we built 183 megawatts of wind power, which is, I don't remember exactly, but something like the equivalent of 40,000 homes for energy purposes. So that's my most recent background aside from the brewery. So yeah, not relevant whatsoever.
Not relevant. Okay, that's interesting because most folks that are in their industry now, what I hear from them is they didn't have that. They weren't thinking of being that in the past. So
Yeah.
uh, just like any college student going to college and they pick their majors and then end up leaving school or graduating and then going to a different field. Anyway,
Yeah.
uh, I think that's what makes it more unique, actually. Okay. Hey, I got to read a little bit about your bio because you have the best bio in town. So I'll start out with that. So on the About Us page from the Boise Brewing page, Collin is pretty sure he had hobbies before starting a brewery and having children. They might have been things like backpacking and running, but he can't remember for sure. And he now enjoys doing the accounting and changing diapers. So are you still in the diaper stage, Collin?
We should really change that because we've moved out of that quite a bit. I guess we need to update the website a little bit. No, I've moved on to fixing toilets. And
Okay, moved on to fixing toilets.
yeah.
Awesome. Okay, let's talk about the brewery. As 10 years is coming up on us soon, tell us the origin story of Boise Brewing. As a founder, what were your thoughts and how did it all begin?
Yeah. So I'd quit my job at the wind power company, and I was taking a break for a little while, doing some things that I hadn't had time to do before. And one of them was home brewing, and it was starting to get a little out of control. I was making my own microcontrollers for temperature automation. My girlfriend's now wife couldn't park a car in the garage anymore because there was too much stuff in there. So kind of realized I had to make a decision about either dialing it back or jumping in all the way. And I think that getting a parking space back in your garage is not a good reason to start a business, but it seems to have worked out so far. So that's the origins. And I guess the other aspect of that and the kind of central to our identity is the community ownership aspect. As I was kind of researching, starting the business in general, you kind of start to formulate the identity of the brewery as well. And I really wanted it to be very community oriented, which is how we got our start for real, which with our first public offering of stock. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, are there any other community-owned breweries in the state of Idaho?
Not like this, not anything close. It's a
Okay.
pretty unique, nationally, it's a fairly unique setup.
Okay. So what does that mean? Tell us a little bit about community ownership. And we'll talk a little bit more depth a little bit later, but what does that mean to the average person?
Yeah, so typically when you're raising capital for a company, you're restricted to a small number of individual owners, which means that you have to have high net worth people that can contribute a high amount of money to start the business. This is the opposite of that. We started out with 240 individuals at $1,000 a piece. So the idea is it's approachable to a normal craft beer drinker. I mean, $1,000 is still a chunk of change, but it's not your retirement fund. So
Okay. So as an owner, what are some of the benefits?
You can get a mug like you see right back here. You get a growler fill every month for the rest of your life. We do some owner exclusive social events. Shareholder meetings are a little bit update on business. Here's what our plans are, kind of brainstorming if people have some ideas, and just hang out, drink beer with other owners. So there's a lot of fun perks of ownership as in on top of just having an equity stake in the company.
That's awesome. And those mugs behind you, they're made by a local potter, right?
Yeah, we've burnt out about 4 or 5 potters in the history of making mugs because we're at about 1,000
Wow.
in total. So it's yeah, it's a little gnarly, but yeah, local mug maker making all of our owners mugs.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And one of them is a friend of my wife and I's, Kevin Flynn of Flynn Day Pottery.
We haven't burnt him out yet.
No, that's awesome. Okay, so we talked about the origin of Boise Brewing. Started out in your garage. Now it's grown to almost 1,000 mugs and owners, and you're opening up another round. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we just opened up our 4th round of investment. If you're not familiar, we just opened our restaurant. We expanded our seating, added a full kitchen. At the time, I thought we had lots and lots of money in the account for the build out, and of course that just got totally crushed. And so we kind of had to cut out some of the scope of the project that we wanted to do, and this is a way that we can add some of those things back in to improve the restaurant and the vibe and make a better experience here for customers in the restaurant.
I love it. I'm glad you mentioned the expansion and adding the restaurant, because that smash burger has got to be up against, it's got to be a top 3 burger here in the Metro, in my opinion. And also the seating, obviously. What is seating capacity in the restaurant now?
Man, between the 2 halves, we could, if we got the 2 halves and both patios fully seated, it's something like 250 seats that we can seat.
Okay. All right. And you got an outside patio and you host a lot of events. I know Tree Fort was big. You do the big brewing event as well with like 70 different breweries come in, and it's like Brewery on the Block. I can't remember what it's called, but that's a bunch of fun. Tell us a little bit about some of the events that Boise Brewing hosts.
Yeah, you're talking about Hoptober Freshtival, which we do in October every year. Fresh Hop Festival, invite local breweries to pour both their fresh hop beer as well as some other fun beer. That's like I said, in October. But most recently, Tree Fort, obviously, we were a venue, one of the free venues, and just absolutely got crushed by the city. So it was awesome. It was great. Had to get the brew crew to catch back up on the beer that we went through. It was it was amazing. It was great.
That's awesome. And I know throughout the year you have space for companies to host events or gatherings or weddings or birthdays. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's new for us. Before the expansion, we were kind of one big room, so we couldn't really do private events to any significant degree because we'd have to shut the whole place down.
Right.
Now the setup of the building it's kind of already divided in half. There's a restaurant side and a more taproom side, so it's super easy for us to host a group of 100, and you've got your private event in amongst the fermenters, which is also kind of a unique vibe for private events. You can't find another place that's got the industrial stainless steel vibe surrounding everything. But we've been getting a lot of birthday parties, a lot of corporate events, and starting to fill up our 2024 calendar. But it's been great seeing the success and being able to host events like that.
Well, you just hosted the first Startups and Suds of the year that the Chamber offers, where you get to try a Chamber member brewery beer. You get to hear from a startup and some great networking at the event. And thanks for hosting us. That was really cool, well attended. I think we even got a shareholder out of that too. So
that sounds like it, yeah.
So that's awesome. And this Saturday and Sunday, tell us what's on tap for Saturday and Sunday.
Well, literally on tap, we got 2 new beers. The first is Audible IPA. It's kind of standard West Coast style IPA, but it's tasting real nice. And then one of the more exciting beers in a while is a hoppy Pilsner that's tasting really, really good. So we got some light crisp, and we got some hoppy offerings. But yeah, you're talking about this weekend. We got March Madness coming up. We'll have most of the games on with sound, which is sort of fun to be able to actually get the full experience of the game. Yeah, so we're looking forward to this weekend for sure.
And I heard maybe you'll be hanging around just in case people want to learn more about community ownership.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I'll be there on Saturday from 4 to 6 if anybody wants to just drop in and chat further. Super low pressure. If you're interested in learning a little more, I'll be here.
Awesome. And I know there's different levels and different benefits. I think the minimum investment is $1,000, and I think $2,500 and above is something else. So I can't wait to learn more about that. What's on tap? We talked about the new brews coming up Saturday and Sunday. There's music and the second part of the games as well. March Madness games.
Saturday there's music.
Okay. Saturday's music. We love music. Yep. So currently you have almost 700 investors, and you're opening it up for the 4th round of investors. And how long is that time frame that it's open?
Probably about till the end of the year.
Okay. So there's a good amount of time for people to. What I love about it, and what it's done for Michelle and I, being an owner and investing with you guys, is we found a community place that when we invite people or we have family come, we go to Boise Brewing. That is our, that's kind of our place now. And we feel welcomed. Your team is amazing. Your staff knows us by name, and it's just really cool. And you feel it's like a Cheers bar almost, where, not really, but you have that community feel. And you've really done a good job with that, Collin.
Well, thank you. That's, like I said at the beginning, being community oriented was the defining factor right from the start. So us living true to that is good to hear. And it's fun to see too, more community connections start when, one owner sits down with the mug and then another owner sits down with the mug, and conversation starts and new friendships form. And it's cool to see those connections made just sort of organically in the brewery.
Yeah, I love it. Well, I know you and I were talking about doing something special for your 10-year anniversary. So that'll probably be in June or July. So we're looking forward to that. More to come. Is there anything else why I have you today that you'd like to educate the public on?
I guess another defining factor for us is everybody says their beer tastes good, but we probably have the most recognition from the Great American Beer Fest and the World Beer Cup for our beers. We've got about 7 medals over the course of our 10 years for a number of our beers. So it's nationally and internationally recognized beer.
What are the 4 flags? What are 4 flagship beers?
Well, there's Broad Street Blonde, Snowboarder Porter. We've got our Hip Check IPA. Of course, we've got a hazy IPA as well. But I would say the flagship is Boise Light for us. It's I'm told the number 1 craft beer, at least on draft, in the state.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
I had that Hoppy Pills at the Startups and Suds, and I'd never seen it before. I was like, oh my gosh, I got to try it. It was perfect because it was a beautiful day, sunny day, and that Pills just finished so well.
Yeah, we're looking forward to more sunny patio days here starting on Sunday, it looks like. Monday, Sunday, somewhere in there.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, Collin, I just can't thank you enough for your investment in the community. Thanks for your team's entire effort. Your new chef is amazing. They're really producing quality food, and your wait staff is really special. Those folks deserve a pat on the back, my friend.
Well, right on. Thanks for the kind words.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we'll see you tomorrow, and have a great weekend, Collin.
All right, you too.